Hi everyone, it's Karen with a 7 eBay sales video. Only because I haven't done one for about a month now, I'm actually going to do 14 sales today. So 14 sales that I've had over the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've picked out some of the what I think are the more interesting ones, and I've got a couple of fails in there for you as well, so you can see that I don't always make a profit on things. For those of you who haven't watched one of these before, I'll show you what I've sold, I tell you where I bought it, how much I paid for it, and I show you the profit that I made after fees. So when I say fees, I mean eBay fees, PayPal fees, postage, and obviously the cost of the item. So let's get straight in with the first one that you can see on the screen here. 3 vintage brass toast and forks, and one of these was a telescopic one. I got them in an auction lot a few weeks ago. I paid £20 and 3p for the whole lot. There was quite a lot of brass things in, so I had about 8 listings altogether from that lot. So these toast and forks owed me £2.50. I could have put them on separately, but I think apart from the telescopic ones, I don't think the other two were worth very much. I didn't have them listed that long, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and I got the full asking price of £30. The guy who bought them actually said his grandfather used to make telescopic toast and forks, so he was really happy to find one that he could buy. So yeah, they sold for £30 plus post, and after fees that was a profit of £23 and 75p. Next, I think I've mentioned these before. This was a Technics cable. So I bought an auction lot of Technics hi-fi equipment at an auction last year. There was a tuner, an amplifier, a cassette, a CD, speakers, and 2 cables. I think there were seven pieces altogether. I decided to split them down and sell them all separately because I think you could get a little bit more money that way. So this cable owed me £4.68. It sold for the full asking price of £20 plus post, so the profit on that was £12.15. The next item is another Technics piece. This was the cassette tape deck. Now this actually sold, somebody bought this when I was on holiday and they paid for it, and then they immediately messaged us and said, I've contacted the police about this, and if it's not working I can return it to you for a full refund. And I just thought, what? You've actually contacted the police to say you've bought something on eBay, and if it doesn't work, can you return it? I just thought that was completely ridiculous. And following on from that email, he immediately sent me another email to say, now if this doesn't work, I'm going to return it for a refund. And I just thought, I can't be bothered with the hassle of this, because if he's saying all these things before I've even sent it out, am I going to have hassle with it once he gets it? So I decided to cancel the order and refunded his money, and I said, look, I don't appreciate the threats, that you've contacted the police, and if it doesn't work, I'm a respected eBay seller. I've got a good feedback score. I always test things. I would never send out something that didn't work, so I'm actually cancelling the order. I never heard from the fella again. So a week later it sold again, so I was quite happy about that. It sold for £25. And like I said before, with the cable, it actually owed me £4.68 this, because it was part of that auction lot. It was a double cassette tape deck. I don't know, obviously people still use cassettes. I've never used cassettes in years, but I suppose as people collect cassette tapes, so they want cassette deck to play it on. So it sold for £25 plus post, and the profit I made on that was £13.06. I've still got the speakers from this Technics lot, and I think the tuner as well, so hopefully they'll sell soon, but I would definitely pick up Technics again. Next is this T-Rex. I have seen people pick these up before. It is a Jurassic Park figure of a dinosaur, figure? Yeah, I think you would call it a figure. I think you can get Jurassic World ones as well, and you kind of know by, if I can see a picture here, I don't know if I've got a close-up of it. You can see the JP, the Jurassic World ones have JW on, and they're quite easy to research. You just type in Jurassic Park and the number 29, which was stamped on this dinosaur's leg, and it was pretty easy to find. This one did have some damage. It had a split on its mouth. It had quite a lot of wear underneath it, and it actually didn't stand up. Its legs were quite loose for some reason. I couldn't figure out a way to tighten them at all, so I just had to sell it like that. When I did the research on eBay, there was quite a different variety of prices they were going for. So I kind of picked one a higher end, £50, but I thought I probably won't get £50 for something that's, you know, the legs don't work. So when I got an offer of £30, I was quite happy to take it. I only paid £2 for this at a car boot sale, so I was very happy to take £30. So that was a profit of £23.05. Now I'll definitely be looking out for these again. Next is an item of clothing, and it is a J. Lindbergh. It's a golf jacket. Not a very good picture. It's kind of a brushed cotton material. Apparently it's a mid-layer jacket. It had a zip on it. 42-inch chest. I found this in a charity shop for £3.99. I've never heard of the name Lindbergh, but I did a little bit of research and it came up that it was a golf jacket, and they were going for decent money, and as it was only £3.90, £3.99 did I say? £3.95? Well, at £3.50, I decided to pick it up. It did have the label cut out, which makes it a little bit difficult sometimes for sizing and things like that, but luckily the sizing was on the label at the top. And I did a bit of research on it, and I put it on for £34.95. I got an offer of £30. I actually got a couple of offers on the same day. I got one for about £20, and then another one came in for, just after I'd declined the £20 one, another one came in for £30. So I was quite happy that I didn't take the £20 one. So I took the offer of £30, and that was a profit of £22.10. So when I see Lindbergh again, I'll definitely be picking those up. This next one I've put it in because this coat has been an absolute pain in the neck. It really has. I bought this at a car boot sale. It must be about 2 years ago now, and it was new with tags. It's Marks and Spencer's. It's a fleece lined sheepskin style coat. It's a big size. It was size 20, so my mannequin's only a 12 to 14, so it didn't really look too good on the mannequin. So I tried taking a picture of it on the door. I've had it up at £60, down at £20. I've had it on auctions. I took it off auction, put it on a buy it now. I just couldn't shift the damn thing. I don't know why. I've even put Del Boy in the title. I did, just in case that might, you know, encourage somebody to buy it. But I put it on an auction. I think it was just after I came back off holiday. I decided to put quite a few things on auction that just weren't shifting, and I put this on for £9.95, and it got one bid, so it did sell for £9.95 plus the post. I paid £20 for this, like I said, so I have made a loss. I made a loss of £12.02 after I take out my fees and everything and postage. But I was really happy to see the back of it. I'm so sick of the sight of it on the back of my door. So that has gone. I just, fingers crossed it doesn't come back, because I really don't want it. And I won't be buying any of those again. Strangely enough, whenever I do buy any new with tags, Marks and Spencer's items, say I bought them in a sale at Marks and Spencer's, or if I bought them at a car boot, they just don't sell very well, and I'm not sure why, because other people seem to do well with them. So I'm probably not going to pick any up again, because I just can't seem to shift them. So let's move swiftly on from that and go to something that I did make a profit on. This was a vintage nursery bundle. So there was a quill cover, pillowcase, there was a valance, a sheet, there was curtains, and there was this rug. It's a beautiful little set, and the pictures don't actually show how good a quality this stuff was. it had been used, but it looked new. I mean, they were absolutely in perfect condition, really, really nice. But they had them up for a while. It was, the label on them said Crown. Now I wasn't sure if they were the Crown that we know today that makes paint and wallpaper and what have you, but they were definitely vintage. So I decided to put these on as a job lot. I got them from an auction. I got these. There was about 7 rolls of wallpaper, 4 of one kind and 3 of another, and there was 3 rolls of border. So I listed them in 4 separate lots. So this lot owes me £2.40 because the whole auction only cost me £9.60. Nobody seemed to want it at the auction, but I thought, it's, you know, there's got to be a little bit of profit in that. It was so nice. And I took an offer on this of £17, and it went off on the GSP only to Ireland, and the profit I made on that was £11.64. I've still got, I think I sold 1 lot of the wallpaper, and I've still got some other ones, the other wallpaper and the border left. But I got feedback from the lady who bought it, and she said she had a very happy little boy once he'd got these in his bedroom. So I was really happy that somebody got them that appreciated them. Next is these Nike Lunar Epic fly knit running shoes. Blue trainers, size 8.5. Not much to say about them really. Quite nice trainers. I haven't seen this kind of stretchy cuff top before. I saw them at a car boot sale. I paid £3 for them. They were in quite good condition. Sometimes if they've got if there's marks on trainers, I will shove them in the washing machine. But these ones were quite good. I put them up for £40, but I did take an offer on them of £27. I've kind of taken a few lower offers over the last few weeks because, you know, just after Christmas, a little bit skint, so I wanted to get some things shifted so I could get some new stock in. So I took an offer of £27 on these, and they went off on the GSP to Italy. So that was a profit of £19.71 on those. This board game was another one that sold in the last few weeks. I've had this, I think we got this at the car boot sale last summer. It is a board game. Warren loves picking up board games. He likes the quirky looking ones he likes to pick up. And usually they are, you know, they are decent sellers. This one was called Felinia. So it's a game about cats apparently. I've never played it. It was an interactive double-sided board. Everything was in really good condition. Some of the things were still sealed. I put it up for £20. I'll just show you the insides. A lot of the things were still sealed in really good condition. Looks like an interesting game. I did think I might play it, but we never got round to it. So I took the offer of £17. I paid £4 for this at the car boot sale. So that was a profit of £10.19. The guy actually bought another game at the same time. It was The Hobbit he bought as well. So he got a little bit of a discount on postage there. Next up is one of my favourite things to buy and sell, and this is Noritake China. This one, again, I got it at the auction. I got it with, there was some other lots in with it. I think I listed about 8 different items from that box. It wasn't all Noritake, this was the only Noritake. And I paid £20 and 3 pence for the whole box. There was a stamp on the bottom, but I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find this pattern anywhere. So I found Noritake's website and I emailed them to see if they could tell us what the name of the pattern was. And they came back and they said, because it was before, I think it was before 1930, the patterns didn't have names. So that made it a little bit difficult to list. But she did tell me that the gold on it was actually 18 karat gold. She said it was, you know, a really old one. It was from 1918, obviously. So I listed it as a 21-piece tea set with a house and island. I didn't know what that was called. I'm sure somebody can tell us what that's called, but I really couldn't remember what, or I couldn't figure out what to call it. So it was a house and an island. I originally listed it on a buy it now. I think I put it on for, it was over £100, I think, but I didn't get any nibbles. So I decided to put it on an auction starting at £50. Like I said, I couldn't find this pattern anywhere. Couldn't find it in Google, I couldn't find it on eBay, I just couldn't find it. So I wasn't sure what it was worth. So I thought I'll put it up for £50 and see what happens. And it did get one bid of £50. I put £15 postage on it because I thought I was going to have to send it parcel force. But the person who bought it was, I think they were in China or Japan, one of the two. So I only had to send it to the JSP. So I only sent this Hermes. So I did make a little bit of money on the postage. It owed me £2.50 from that auction box, and the profit on that was £46.58, which I was really happy with. Maybe if I'd left it on a buy it now, I could have gotten more for it, but because I wasn't sure, I was quite happy to take the £50 for it. But I've got some more Noritake coming this week. I bid on some at the auction on Tuesday and won it. So I'm really excited to get some more Noritake. I really like selling it. Next on the list is 3 vintage cut glass claret jugs. Now I originally had these on separately. You can see the different ones here. I believe these two are Georgian, Jason Reseller, or Jason Reselling, I can't remember what his name is, but it's Jason something Reselling. He actually messaged me on Instagram, and I think he pointed out to me that these were Georgian and he'd sold some and how much he'd put them on for, so thanks to Jason for the help with that. I did list them all separately. I think I had them on for maybe £30 each, I think, originally. But this guy from Italy messaged me, and he said if he bought all 3 would I take £72, and I thought, well, that's fair enough. I bought them at auction. It came with a lot of other things as usual. I think I had 7 listings from this box, so they owed me, all 3 owed me £13.41 altogether. So I thought, well, that seems like a decent profit to me. So I took the £72, and that was a profit of £48.54. But incidentally, I've been watching The Crown, and I think it was about a week after these sold, we were watching The Crown, and we saw this claret jug on the Queen's table, and Warren's going, look, there's the Queen's claret jug, we've just sold it, it was worth a lot more than that. I says, I'm sure it didn't actually belong to the Queen, I'm sure it's just a silver plate and not actually real silver. But he's not convinced. But I was happy to take the £72 for it. I think the £48.54 profit was quite a decent profit. Next was this Carlton Ware Mikado design blue vase. Now this came in an auction lot. I think this came with the green Japanese eggshell tea set I sold a few weeks ago. And when I saw there was the green tea set, there was this vase, and there was another vase that was all cracked and chipped that I threw out. But this one, I almost didn't list it because it didn't really look much of anything. I know it said Carlton Ware, but it didn't really look very good quality, or it wasn't in brilliant condition. I mean, it was I put good condition, and the people that got it were very happy with it. But I nearly didn't list it because it was Carlton Ware. I thought, well, I'll list it. I did a little bit of research, and I did find another 3 or 4 that had sold exactly the same as this for around the £20 to £30 mark. So I thought, well, I'll put it up for £29.95. I'll show you the stamp on the bottom. You can see it's Carlton Ware. I didn't realise Carlton Ware actually made this type of vase. I thought Carlton Ware was more kind of advertising stuff, but you live and learn. So it did sell for £29.95 plus post, and after fees that was a profit of £18.50, so I was very happy with that. Next I have another, not a total big fat fail, but it's something that I class as a failure. I decided, because I've seen other people pick up football tops and sporty things, that I would try my hand at it as well. And it's worked with some things like golf things and other kind of sports, but football is something I know absolutely nothing about. We've never watched football in this house. Warren's never been interested in football. My son was never interested in football. and I don't like football, so we don't know anything about football. But I thought I'd give it a go, and this just shows you should stick to things that you like to sell. Things maybe it's not that you know stuff about, but stuff that you're interested in researching. And I'm just not interested in researching football tops. So I picked up this one. It was a Sunderland football top, got Reg Vardy on the front. I knew it was Nike, I knew it was a size XL, and that was all I knew. I googled it. I could not find this top anywhere. I've looked on the Sunderland sort of historical football website. I've looked everywhere for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I asked the question on one of the Facebook groups, did anybody know anything about it? And a couple of people thought that it might be one of their training tops, and it wasn't something that was ever, you know, supposed to be used in a match or anything like that. So I listed it for £15. It did have a slight blue mark on the sleeve, which I did mention and photographed. I listed it for £15. I got an offer of £8, so I counter offered with £12 and they came back with £11. So I decided to take it. I thought I'm going to cut my losses and I'm going to take £11. And after fees, that was a profit of £5.30. So not a total fail, but I've decided that I am no longer going to pick up football tops because I have no interest in them. I'll leave the football tops to the people who know about football tops. And last but not least of the 14 sales this week is this pair of vintage ceiling lights. Very Art Deco style. They've got 4-way adjustable spotlights on them. And you can see some of the shades were actually off. These came from that auction lot I bought, I think it was last September, and it was full of lamps, and it had a couple of pictures in, some mirrors, and I bought that auction lot because I liked these. I really liked them, and I thought these would go first, and these are actually the last item from that whole auction lot that have sold. How strange. It just shows you that the things you think will sell maybe aren't so nice to other people, and the things that you think are horrible, you know, other people seem to love them. But these have been the last things to go. I paid £17.60 for the whole auction box, and I've made probably nearly about £200 from that whole box. So these all mean nothing. I've had them listed for £30. I sent someone an offer, a watcher I sent an offer to, sent of £25, and they snapped that up. And they're going off on the GSP. I think they're going to Italy as well. There was some scratches to the metal, but obviously I've put that in the condition. Some of the shades were loose, and I wasn't sure how to get them back on, but I'm sure that the person who bought them will be able to figure that out. So the profit on that was £20.22, and like I say, that's the last item from that auction box. So I'm really glad I picked that up, even though it looked like a complete box of nothing. It was a really good box. I just love auctions. I'm actually picking up the auction lots that I won on Tuesday. I'll be picking them up tomorrow or Sunday. So I think I'm going to do another one of those videos on what I bought at auction, because I did buy quite a lot. So look out for that if that's the type of thing you're interested in. Those are my 14 sales for this week. I hope you found that interesting. Is there anything on there that you think I could have maybe got a little bit more for? Is there anything that you just wouldn't pick up if you're a reseller as well? I'm interested to find out, so if you just leave your comments below, that would be really great. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you like this eBay video, just hit the subscribe button and then hit the little notification bell, and it'll let you know when I put another one of these up. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.